अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गतां मह्यं ददति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलान् श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाख अन्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So, in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we are discussing wonderful pastimes of the dealings of the Lord and His devotees. In that, in the fourth canto, we are talking about discussing the pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj. And so this chapter is very, very nice, especially if you see the title. The title is Dhruva Maharaj goes back to Godhead. So that also should be our goal. Our goal also should be that we want to be always in the transcendental realm. Of course, what is the business there? Serving. And what is the job there? Meditating upon the Lord. Always remembering, always hearing, always glorifying, always associating with the associates of the Lord, servant, and becoming servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. So here we are in text 12, which gives the qualities of Dhruva Maharaj. And tamevam shila sampanno brahmanya dina vatsalaham. So these are the qualities, very, very important, that one should always understand the importance of one who is a Brahmana. A Brahman to a society is an asset. If a Brahman is there, then the whole kingdom can benefit by his counseling. Why? Because the king, Kshatriyas, in those days or even to now, need a panel of such intellectual people who says what to do and what not to do, which favors dharma. Of course, in hello.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, we are facing some voice. Yeah, it's not proper. There is a lot of disturbance. I don't know if for others also it is.
What kind of disturbance you are hearing? Voice breaking or?
Breaking,
what about others?
breaking, yes.
No,
Voice is breaking,
for
Prabhuji. Very
me,
often.
it's good, Prabhuji. Like I can hear.
Yeah, they can hear.
Yeah.
Okay, at least I have a good signal strength. So can you maybe check once and then see if there is something you can improve on that side? I think they dropped off.
Yeah, I'll check.
What about others?
It's good, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good as well, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay, so reconnect. Let's see if it improves. So here we are reading about Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, for his godly qualities. And what is that? To respect. He was very respectful to the devotees of the Supreme Lord and very kind to the poor and innocent. Now we are seeing why is this word Brahmanyam, respectful to Brahmanas. In the translation, how come it became devotees? It is very, very important to understand this, that Vaishnavas who are always eager to serve, always busy, engaged in the serving the Lord, have all the qualities of a Brahmana. Not only that, he has even more, that attachment to the Lord, attachment to the service of the Lord, that makes a Vaishnava different or even above a Brahmana. A Brahman, he is only to an extent of, if you see the qualities are very, very favorable because he is positioned in the mode of goodness. As I think last week we were discussing that a Brahman doesn't become just because he is born in a Brahman family. He is still called as a Brahma Bandhu, just like Ashwatthama, Dronacharyas. He is a Brahmana, his son can become a Brahmana, but he was only what? Brahma Bandhu, means a friend of a Brahmana or a dear one to a Brahman. Why? Because he didn't demonstrate, he didn't develop the qualities of a Brahman to true Brahmana. And that's why he was supporting Kauravas, and not only that, he was practicing all kinds of ways of how to selfishly win. He was even killing. He killed the sons of Pandavas. Then he also tried to kill Parikshit Maharaj when he was still in the womb of Uttara. So those, we can say them, though they are in a Brahman family, we should respect them, but we are talking about Brahmanas who are really by nature Brahmanas. Otherwise, they are Brahma Bandhus. Of course, if you see there is the conversation between Pandavas, Draupadi, what should be done? Because Arjuna has captured Ashwatthama and brought to punish. Everyone were of different opinions discussing how to punish or what should we do to this culprit who wanted to kill Parikshit Maharaj. No, yeah. So anyway, so coming back, it's very important. And now the devotees are above that because not only that they are in the mode of goodness, but they are also always eager to serve the Lord. Naturally, it doesn't happen. One may think, oh, if someone is in the mode of goodness, then he is always remembering the Lord. No, we see so many people who are in the mode of goodness who don't even think about God. They always are thinking about people, serving mankind, or even if they may know like God, they may only think, okay, God business is uh, independent to the actual serving the people. So in that way, different understandings. But a devotee is the one who really understands the complete knowledge of all the Vedas is to serve the Lord. So Dhruva Maharaj or a devotee should always be respectful to the devotees of the Supreme Lord and very kind to Dina Vatsala. This Vatsalya Bhav will, we have to invoke that. We may think, no, 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 I am only 15 years, I am only 30 years, I am only 40 years. This caregiving starts only when we really are so matured that we start like, okay, I have children, I have to take care of them for their own well-being. Nowadays, what happens is the grandparents are becoming so much Vatsalya Bhav is bestowed in only taking care of their grandchildren. Whereas we see the Lord, who is the Father of everyone, what is He doing? He's not just kind of saying only for humans or only for good people. No, Vatsalya Bhav is for innocent people. In a family, if a child, if there are two sons, one son is innocent, the other one is intelligent, the more care is given to whom? To innocent. And he protected religious principle. This is very important. We may think that, okay, the world has already gone topsy-turvy, that we can't do anything. Let me take my good care that I advance. No, after all, if everyone is happy, we can be happy. If everyone is serving the Lord, then we can really serve the Lord with full impetus and with full um, what is that word? Rigor, not rigor, intense. Yeah, Tivra Bhakti. Bhakti, yeah, can again have different grades. If we want to advance rapidly, we should see how we can also create such environment around us. Huh? That if we are in touch with 10 people around us, let the 10 people be blessed with the same bhakti. Bhakti Lata Bija. Yes, recently we were hearing to Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj class. So, and then with all these qualifications, he was considered to be the direct father of all the citizens. We, yeah, devotees are always in this, always giving, generous, and always taking care, cannot see the suffering of others. All these are qualities of a devotee. And such devotees should be protected always. If such devotees are supported, if such devotees are given importance, then the country can um, be blessed. And if you see in the purport now, there is all emphasis of here. One word is very significant is going to be Brahmanyam. Was very devoted to the Brahmanas who engage in the study of Vedic Vedas and thereby know the Supreme Lord. So a Brahmana is a one who is really a Brahman when he understands this, that after reading Vedas, it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead one should know. They are always busy propagating Krishna consciousness. So now it's clear, though it's Brahmanyam, this is emphasizing not any kind of Brahmana, but Brahmanas who really understand the Vedas correctly and who are always propagating Krishna consciousness all over. And the administrators simply sit in their administrative post and say no to every request, and if they were paid to say no to the citizens. This is what happens. Hmm? Very difficult to find anyone in the state administration with any good qualities. This is what is happening. Unfortunately, in this age, the state agents and the presidents draw good salaries from the state. So, who is paying that? It is the people who are paying. So, whom should they serve? People. But what is happening? They're earning and they're serving themselves. And what? How are they serving themselves? By giving licenses to slaughterhouses, to alcohol shops. They allow the running of slaughterhouses where innocent animals are killed. If we try to compare the godly qualities of Dhruva Maharaj to the qualities of modern statesmen, we can see that there is no actual comparison. Dhruva Maharaj was present in Satya Yuga. We may say, oh, it's about Satya Yuga, in Kali Yuga, what can we hope? There is no hope because so many things are already graded. We have to see what we can do. He was the ideal king in Satya Yuga. The government administration in the present king is bereft of all good qualities. Considering all these points, the people today have no alternative but to take Krishna consciousness for protection of religion, life, and property. So we may think that, okay, there is hopeless situation where I am living. Kali Yuga means Kali, Purush is dominating rather than the Lord energy, Lord potency. No, we have to understand that for devotees, even in any kind of condition, that's why we come across that even if a devotee is put in hell, he is happy if he can engage in service of the Lord. We are in this world which is also prevailing, predominantly prevalent of this darkness, of the effects of the age, but doesn't mean that we have no hope, we have no chance. We have full hope, we have full chance. Why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is just 500 years back, he appeared and he inaugurated Sankirtan movement all over the world. uh, and what is the focus of it? So that we all can practice Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't start a, what is it called, political party. It's not that, oh, okay, those days there was no politics. No, there was also administration, there was also ruling. But he inaugurated that movement, Krishna consciousness, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu movement was focusing of becoming what? Forget all these things. These will be there because this is material world. These material disturbances, adjustments, compromises, whatever will be there. But the best shelter for mankind is what? Taking shelter of the Lord, becoming Krishna conscious. And then by doing that, everything is protected. Why? Because if I have to protect my own property is difficult against all these odds. But if Krishna is protecting my property, then what is problem? No problem. So last week we stopped here. Are there any questions for this part, or we just proceed now? Okay, we'll proceed, and if there are any questions, let me know. We can stop there. So Dhruva Maharaj ruled over this planet for 36,000 years, and he diminished the reactions of two things happened. One is the reactions of pious activities by enjoyment, and by practicing austerities, he diminished inauspicious reactions. So, if we see here, this one second. Yeah, here we talk about the different ages. Yeah, in Satya Yuga, he was present. This whatever past time we are reading is from Satya Yuga time, and he lived for 100. I mean, people in Satya Yuga live 100,000 years. In Treta Yuga, people live for 10,000 years. In Dwapar Yuga, 1,000 years, and in Kali Yuga, maximum 100 years. So, with the change of yugas, the duration of life and memory, the qualities of kindness, and all other qualities diminish. There are two kinds of activities: pious activities and impious activities. By executing pious activities, one can gain facilities for higher material energy, but due to impious activities, one has to undergo severe distress. Very carefully, if we read the purport, it is clear that if I do good, no, if I do bad, I cannot counteract by doing good. A devotee, however, is not interested in enjoyment or affected by distress. When he is prosperous, he knows I am diminishing the result of my pious activities. When he is in distress, he is thinking I am diminishing the reactions of my impious activities. So our job here from now on, we should always remember from now on, is not to create all this good and bad, which can put us again into situation to enjoy or suffer. Our business should be to think of I want to now engage in akarmic actions, which is no reaction should be there. What is that? By engaging in the service of the Lord, then there is no such a problem. A devotee is not concerned with enjoyment or distress. He simply desires to execute devotional service. And Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we see that apratihata, which means unchecked by the material conditions of happiness and distress. The devotee undergoes process of austerity such as observing Ekadasi for what? And similar other fasting days and refraining from illicit sex, intoxication, gambling and meat eating. Thus he becomes purified from reactions of his past impious life. So taking such austerities is not just okay, we should not create. Of course, when we eat grain on Ekadasi, we are creating sin. That is one reason why we should stop eating. But austerities in devotional life is for what? Is to take such inconveniences so that we can burn out our impious activities, like impious results. And because he engages in devotional service, his most pious activities, he enjoys life without separate endeavor. And then next he handed after what he did self-controlled. Dhruva Maharaj thus passed many years favorably executing three kinds of worldly activities: adharma, artha, and kama, satisfaction of material desires. Thereafter he handed over the charge of royal throne to his son. This is also, in this we see that there is this 36,000 years, right? One may conclude that he became very, very old, and but we may see here that his senses, mm, uh, avichalendriya, means that he was not disturbed by agitation of senses, nor was his sensory power diminished. Although in years he was very, very old man, since he ruled over the world for 36,000 years, naturally one may conclude that he became very, very old, but factually his senses were very young, and yet he was not interested in sense gratification. In other words, he remained self-controlled. Yeah, so there is this, no, we usually refer to Adi Shankaracharya's very nice shlok, which says that, even though age may one may age, but his desires, will not end, because usually there is a notion that dharma, artha, and after that kama, and then finally moksha. One arranges dharma, by doing some good thing. What will come? Some wealth, dharma, artha, and then with that wealth one enjoys, and once he's disgusted or frustrated with that, then he will give up and then practice moksha. It is not going to happen so easily. One has to really think and apply the means of bhakti to come to the stage of detachment. Otherwise, senses are so strong that it always uh, hard to think of a life of renounce renounce renunciation. Yeah, here we see that that is the way of behavior of great devotees. Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, one of the direct disciple of Lord Chaitanya, was son of a very rich man. Although he had no interest in enjoying material happiness, when he was entrusted with doing something in managing the state, he did it perfectly. Srila Gaurasundara advised him, from within, keep yourself and your mind completely aloof, but externally execute the material duties just as they need to be done. This is what even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, no, 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 don't come now. You are in an administrative role. Serve. Mm. But how to serve is just like this. This is very important principle for us in our grihastha life. What should we do? Should we leave everything and become devotees? And how will the society mm, accept us if we do that? We know very well, we are considered as fools. The approach should be that we do from within, keep yourself and your mind completely aloof. So we should always make a point that I am going to lead a life of simplicity, a life with which I can advance in Krishna consciousness always. But do I need to show others? By showing others, it might create problem. Do I need to give up all the activities? No. Do everything, whatever is needed. If I am a husband, do what I should do. If I am a wife, what do I should do what I should do. If I am a kid, so in that way, everyone can still continue doing what they are doing, but with detachment. And what? Always thinking as soon as the opportunity comes, engage in devotional service. Need not be that, okay, it should create awareness that creates us a disturbance in our practice of bhakti. This transcendental position can be achieved by devotees only, as described in Gita, while others, such as yogis, try to control their senses by force. Devotees, even though possessing full sensory powers, do not use them because they engage in higher transcendental activities. Neha vikramana swasti pratyavayo abhidyate swalpapasya dharmasya. So even if one engages little in that practice, then there is nothing to fear. Trayato bhaya. In that way, devotee always is not scared of the effects, but rather he is always absorbed in serving the Lord. So, yeah, so Dhruva Maharaj realized that this cosmic manifestation bewilders living entities like a dream or phantasmagoria. How many of us know what is the meaning of this? Phantasmagoria? Hmm? Yeah, if we want to really closely understand what does it mean, this word means, this is something like a quick recap. Hmm? Sorry, someone saying?
Something like sequence of pictures or imagination.
Hmm. But yeah, but what pictures is like something that goes through quick memory very very quickly, that all those yeah bits and pieces of, so that you can think of, which is not real, but these are just pictures that we had in the past, the impressions. They are going through in front of our eyes in a very very short burst. Mm, yeah. Yeah, entities like a dream or phantasmagoria, because it is a creation of the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord. So this is the understanding, and that is in the purport. Yeah, here we see that a self-realized, similarly in dream also we create many false things. A self-realized person or a devotee knows well that this material cosmic manifestation is temporary, illusory representation appearing to be truth. It is like phantasmagoria, but behind this shadow creation there is reality. It is not that he is giving up, oh, there is nothing. He understands behind this there is Lord's real world with all variegatedness. A devotee is interested in spiritual world, not its shadow. Since he has realization of the supreme truth, a devotee is not interested in temporary shadow of truth. This is confirmed. Param drishtva nivartate. And then Dhruva Maharaj at the end of his yeah at the end left his kingdom, which extended all over the earth and was bounded by the great oceans. He considered his body, his wife, his children, his friends, his army, his rich treasury, his very comfortable palaces, and many enjoyable pleasure grounds to be creation of illusory energy. Thus, in due course of time, he retired to the forest in Himalaya, Badrika Ashram. Yeah, he went to that place. And here there is something. Yeah, we say Dhruva Maharaj as Mahā-Bhāgavat. And he will eventually realize the real truth by the grace of the Lord. In the beginning, Dhruva Maharaj was interested in the kingdom of his father, but later he became a great devotee, Mahā-Bhāgavat, and had no interest in material enjoyment. So, um uh, we understand by the activities of Dhruva Maharaj, Shri Dhruva Maharaj, we can understand that somehow or other, if one becomes Krishna conscious, it doesn't matter what is his motivation is in the beginning. He will eventually realize the real truth by the grace of the Lord. Hmm. Even if one completes only a minute percentage of devotional service and thus fall down from his immature position, he is better than a person who fully engages in the fruitive activities of this material world. So we should understand that there is no loss, there is no loss, there is no loss. I think is this 318. Let me check. Daivatasya Kritendartho. No, not this one. No, 240. Yeah. So here in this is the one. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Yeah. Yeah. Neha Bikrama Nasosti. Pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam api asya dharmasya trayata mahato bhayat. So in this endeavor, there is no harm. त्यक्त्वा स्वधर्मं चरणाम्बुजं हरेर् भजन् अपक्वो तथा पतेत् ततो यदि यत्र क्व वा भद्रं this is the main भद्रं अभूद् अमुष्य किं को वार्ता आप्तो भजतां स्वधर्मतः. So it's very, very important if someone gives up his occupational duties and engage in Krishna consciousness and they fall down on the account of not completing his work, what is the loss? Hmm? And what can one gain if one performs his material activities perfectly? Or as Christians say, what profit a man if he gain the whole world yet suffer the loss of his eternal soul? So coming back here, Dhruva Maharaj is showing us that one may have a bad start, but it doesn't mean that he will have a bad end. A bad start can still, if one can take up to Krishna consciousness, can become perfect and can become Mahābhāgavat. And then in Badrika Ashram, from here we see what after going to the forest, what did Prahlad Maharaj do? Yeah. It is very important that after we retire from our day-to-day activities, what should we do? It's not that we should be extra careful. We should be extra careful to pick up our lifestyle such a way that we can always remember the Lord. Just by going to holy tirtha, just by going to pilgrimage, it will not help us to come to that point unless we practice from now what we should do when we end up in our dream world, wherever it is. Here we see in Badrika Ashram, Dhruva Maharaj's senses became completely purified because he bathed regularly in crystal clear purified water. His mind is sitting position and by yogic practice controlled the breath. And in this way his senses were completely withdrawn. Then what not first the body is cleansed, the mind is cleansed, then he concentrated his mind on the Archa Vigraha form of the Lord, which is the exact replica of the Lord, and thus meditating upon him entered into complete trance. Here the description is about Ashtanga Yoga, to which Dhruva Maharaj was already accustomed. Are we accustomed to that Ashtanga Yoga? Otherwise, what should we do? Yes, we can see here. He concentrated his mind on the Archa Vigraha, the worshipable deity of the Lord, which exactly represents the Supreme Lord, and thus thinking constantly of that deity, he became absorbed in trance. Worship of Archa Vigraha is not idle worship. The Archa Vigraha is an incarnation of the Lord in the form of appreciable by the devotee. Therefore, devotees engage in temple in service of the Lord as Archa Vigraha, a form made of sthula, material object. Uh, all of these are called sthula, metal, wood, jewel, paint, etc., or physical representation. Since the Lord, since the devotees follow the regulative principles of worship, even though the Lord is there in his physical form, he is now non-different from his original spiritual form. That if we cannot understand, if we think that Murti is just made of some material thing, how can Lord be there? Lord, we can see that Lord is very lively. He has full of life. Yeah, if we see a tree is growing, the fruit is coming, or if rains are coming, all is so much lively. But what is that in a Murti? Nothing is happening. If you keep him standing, the Murti is standing. If you keep him laying, the Murti is laying. Hmm? Is the Lord doing anything? No. If we really appreciate the presence of the Lord in the Murti form, and engage ourselves in worshipping the Lord, so much reciprocation happens. We can see the smile of the Lord. We can see the dealings of the Lord. If we talk about Kanchipurna, he used to talk to Ranganathji. For us, it's kind of, can it really be true? Uh, can one really talk to the Lord in the Murti form? Yes, if one has so much faith, if one has so much uh, mm, conviction and engage in talking to the Lord, one can see the reciprocation of the Lord as well. Thus, the devotee gets benefits of achieving the ultimate goal of life, and that is to say, becoming always absorbed in thought of Lord. This incessant thought of Lord, as prescribed in Bhagavad Gita, makes one the topmost yogi. So, uh, what simple thing we have to do is we have to cleanse ourselves from inside outside. Hmm. Of course, Ashtanga yoga in these days is very difficult to do this. The best thing is take bath, follow the rules and regulations that are prescribed by Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Instruction. No, Nectar of Devotion, sorry. Nectar of Devotion, or getting up early, taking bath, eating clean, prasadam. So these are the so simple ways through which one can attain the topmost position of a top, which is the topmost yogi. And then because of his transcendental Bhaktim Harau Bhagavati Pravahan Ajashram. So here we see that because of his transcendental bliss, incessant tears flowed from his eyes, his heart melted, and there was shivering and standing of hair all over his body. So these are the symptoms of a devotee when he gets in on trance. Thus transformed in a transcendental devotional service, Dhruva Maharaj completely forgot his bodily existence. Thus he immediately became liberated from material bondage. So these are 8 bodily transformations, which is called Ashtasatvika Vikara. Vikar, we know Vikara means some which is not normal, and Vikara here is used on a positive note. Uh, Ashtasatvika Vikara. Satvika Vikara means those changes in the body which are very elevated. When a devotee completely forgets his bodily existence, he should be understood to be liberated. He is no longer encaged in the body. Uh, so if we don't engage in material activities, then we don't get encaged in the material uh, body. The example is given here that when a coconut becomes completely dry, mm, we know what is happening. We see that coconut, there is this hard shell. Inside there is a meat. What do we call? Yeah, coconut meat. And then inside there is water. Everything is tightly touching the hard shell, strong. When we just shake it, we can only hear the water sound. Mm. But when it gets more dried up, then we see that whole uh, pulp or this meat it comes freeze from its shell. So here what happens is the coconut pulp within the coconut shell separates from the bondage of the shell and the outer covering. By moving the dry coconut, one can hear the pulp within is no longer attached to the shell. Similarly, when one is fully absorbed in devotional service, he is completely disconnected from the material covering the subtle and gross bodies. Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj actually attained this stage of life by constantly discharging devotional service. So, Mahabhagavats, they are independent. They do not see themselves part of this material world, uh, have no dealings with the material world. Here we see example. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited all these symptoms. Thakur Haridas also exhibited them, and there are many pure devotees who manifested such bodily symptoms. They are not to be imitated, but when one is actually advanced, these symptoms are exhibited. At the time, at the time, it is to be understood that a devotee is materially free. Of course, from the beginning of devotional service, the path of liberation immediately opens. Just as a coconut taken from the tree immediately begins to dry, it simply takes some time for the shell and pulp to separate from one another. Mm. And there is a whole description of this Mukti Linga, how, um, I mean, yeah, this is also very important to understand how this whole process is happening. Mukti means liberation, Linga means subtle body. Mm. No, I think it's better to cover this because this gives how one can become independent of the gross and subtle body. That is mentioned nicely here. When a man dies, he quits his gross body, but the subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego carries him to a new body. We know this. Huh? While existing in the present body, the same subtle body carries him from one stage of life to another, yeah, like from childhood to boyhood, by mental development. The mental condition of a baby is different from that of a boy. The mental condition of a boy is different from that of a young man, and in that way. So at death, the process of changing bodies take place due to subtle body. This is what we know, which is called transmigration of the soul. But there is another stage when one becomes liberated even from the subtle body. It's possible. At that time, the living entity is competent to fully prepared to be transferred to the transcendental or spiritual world. And when this is happening, even the subtle body is left. I think that's mentioned somewhere here. Yeah. The description of bodily symptoms of Dhruva Maharaj makes it apparent that he became perfectly fit to be transferred to the spiritual world. One can experience the distinction between the subtle and gross bodies even daily. In a dream, one's gross body is lying on the bed while the subtle body carries the soul, the living entity, to another atmosphere. But because the gross body has to be continued, the subtle body comes back and settles. Therefore, one has to become free from subtle body also. This freedom is called Mukta Linga. Hmm? So, yeah, and yeah, so that is the point. That's the we can take it from here. And then, as soon as the symptoms of his liberation were manifest, he saw a very beautiful airplane, huh, coming down from the sky, as if the brilliant full moon were coming down, illuminating all the 10 directions. One can, however, so it is not possible in the stages of direct or indirect perception of knowledge. Such knowledge is a special favor of the Supreme Lord. Hmm. Dhruva Maharaj, being liberated from the material concept of life, was situated in transcendental knowledge and could perceive the presence of the Lord. Hmm. Presence of the transcendental airplane, which was as brilliant as the full moon light. One can, however, raise to this platform of knowledge by gradual process of advancing in devotional service or Krishna consciousness. So, which means even if the Lord is sending airplanes to us, we don't have the vision to see that. That's why we always say, no, 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 I don't trust. I cannot put complete faith in giving up everything, uh, because we are not able to see what Lord is sending to us. So here, and then what happened? Drumara saw two associates. Hmm. They had 4 hands and a blackish bodily luster. They were very youthful, and their eyes were just like reddish lotus flowers. They held club in their hands, and they were dressed in very attractive garments with helmets and were decorated with necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. They are Nanda and Sunanda. Hmm, did it mention? So the two uncommon personalities who descended from airplanes came directly from Vishnu Lok. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Yeah, yeah. So Dhruva Maharaj, seeing that these uncommon personalities were direct servants of the Lord, immediately stood up. But being puzzled in hastiness, he forgot how to receive them in proper way. Therefore, he simply offered obeisances with his folded hands and chanted and glorified the holy names of the Lord. So here, uh, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is perfect, even though one does not know how to please the Lord. Simply by sincerely chanting the holy name of the Lord, everything becomes perfect. A devotee, therefore, either in danger or in happiness, constantly chants the Hare Krishna mantra. When he is in danger, he is immediately relieved, and when he is in a position to see Lord Vishnu or his associate directly, by chanting this Mahamantra, he can please the Lord. This is absolute nature of the Mahamantra. Either in danger or in happiness, it can be chanted without limitation. So in that way, Dhruva Maharaj took the process of chanting. Dhruva Maharaj was always absorbed in thinking the lotus feet of the Lord. His heart was full with Krishna. When the two confidential servants of the Supreme Lord, whose names were Nanda and Sunanda, approached him, smiling happily, Dhruva stood with his folded hands bowing down. Then they addressed him as follows. I'll just read this. I think till 26 we can go. 26 will reach. In this verse, Pushkarambha, Sammato is significant. Lord Krishna is known for his lotus eyes, lotus navel, lotus feet, lotus palms. Here he is called Pushkaranabha, which means the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has a lotus navel. And Sammato means two confidential or very obedient servants. The materialistic way of life differs from the spiritual way of life in that one is disobedience, and other is obedience to the will of the Lord. So that's how we differentiate devotees and demons. All living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. They are supposed to be always agreeable to the order of the Supreme Person, that is perfect oneness. And here there is to bring about this training in the society is the mission of Krishna consciousness. What is that? To make people devotees. But one who becomes a surrendered soul and agrees to the order of the Supreme Lord can easily overcome these stringent laws. The example is Dhruva Maharaj. Simply by becoming agreeable to the orders of the Supreme Lord and by developing love of Godhead, Dhruva got the chance to personally meet the confidential servants of Lord Vishnu face to face. What was possible for Dhruva Maharaj is possible for everyone. Anyone who very seriously engages in devotional service can obtain in due course of time the same perfection of human form of life. So, yeah, this should fill us with some hope. Please, now Nanda and Sunanda said, Dear King, let there be all good fortune unto you. Please attentively hear what we shall say. When you were only 5 years old, you underwent severe austerities and you thereby greatly satisfied the Supreme Lord. And that's why the face of world will then change out. No, wait a second. Unfortunately, this training, the purport is telling about Dhruva Maharaj life, what he did. At a very young age, he took up to devotion. Though kids are not thinking of, oh, I want to become the great devotee. Kids usually say, I want to become pilot, I want to become doctor, I want to become police. Yeah. But what happened to the face of such child like Dhruva Maharaj? What happened was he was trained by, he was blessed by his spiritual master. All other masters, they may make us how a good career in this world, but spiritual master, he makes our life successful by giving us opportunity, what we should be doing in the spiritual world, that vision. And Narada Muni was his guru. Unfortunately, this training is lacking all over the world. It is necessary for the leaders of Krishna consciousness movement to start educational institutions in different parts of the world to train children starting at age of 5. Thus, such children will not become hippies or spoiled children of society. Rather, they can all become devotees of Lord. Yeah, this is also in a small, humble way we are also doing with this Ramayana for kids. That Gaur Bhagavan Prabhu and in the past Sindhu Mataji were conducting and are conducting, will be conducting is for what? For children. We may think that no, what is the value of all these things? This is only a story why maybe no. Through this process, we develop such qualities of goodness and also come to a platform of appreciating the Lord that becomes more religious-tic. These days, people, if some kids become religious, the parents are worried because after all, uh, I I, though brought up in such a environment, what did I enjoy? Only I have to be, what do you call, sacrifice all the joy, all the facilities, all the comforts. I should not eat meat, I should sleep early, I should wake up early, I should do japa. All these things are only kind of bondages. What did I get in the end? Nothing. At least my children, let they become non-religious. Let at least they can enjoy the world better. This is the attitude of Dhritarashtra. Hmm. The attitude of Dhritarashtra was that, okay, let me enjoy in this world. Even if I have blindness, that doesn't matter. I can still enjoy. Even if I don't have the proper senses, let me enjoy. If I at least I can't enjoy, let my children enjoy. If Dhritarashtra I can't enjoy, let my sons Kauravas enjoy. So that is the spirit of. Hmm. So that is the spirit of today's world. Rather, we should have these programs for children so that kids are given the vision of how to become devotees. And then what happens? Then the face of the world will then change automatically. How many of us agree in this very important principle? That just I'm sure that all of us appreciate this is very important. Of course, nowadays parents may want to give it, but the kids are not in a position to take it. What to do? Don't worry. Give give them in the hands of uh, devotees. They will take care of it. It's not a impossible thing. First, we should be convinced that becoming a devotee is the right thing. If we believe in that, then uh, we can bring that change in the children, in the kids. So first of all, if we want to have such faith, we should also take shelter of spiritual master in our life. Only a guru can give us this vision, can help us out coming out from um, this quicksand of material suffering. The other day when I was in Golokadham, uh, then I asked a question to His Holiness Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj. Maharaj, it is so nice that devotion is the path, devotion is the way, but there is always a fear. There is always a fear. Oh, if I, if I, if I want to become a devotee, I have to lose a lot. I'll be losing a lot. After all, I worked very hard to get some comfort. After all, I have done all these things to gain something, and now you're saying that uh, become a devotee. I'm scared. I have fear of losing all these things. I have a fear of failing. I have so many kinds of fears. And with some people who push me, with some I may dare to become a devotee, but immediately uh, when I dare to do something, then again Krishna is putting in circumstances where he's testing. Am I really serious, sincere? And again, because of that, I may fail again. So in this way, this fear, I'm just toggling between this fear and dare. I'm fearing I'm not doing anything because fear. I'm scared of Maya. Because of that Maya effect, I may lose. I may become a failure. And though I may dare to do something, then Krishna test puts me again in a fear. Hmm? So again, my motivation is challenged, and when my motivation is challenged, again I fear. So in that way, is a life all about fear? How to overcome the fear? Of course, now I'm just elaborating my question, but the question was concisely put: how to handle the fear and dare, how to always be uh, becoming a devotee. So Maharaj was saying that, just yeah, imagine you are stuck in a quicksand, and slowly, you are going down inside. Yeah, I think we know this quicksand. It will start pulling people inside, and then, yeah, in the end, uh, drowned in that quicksand. So, what is the way out? If someone is saying, if someone is want to give a hand, yeah, from the north, if someone is coming and saying, "Hey, I am this, I can save you," then this person is thinking, yeah, but that still is risky. I can't do that. If someone is coming from the left, from the right, from the top, or whatever sides everyone is coming to give protection, if I'm always fearing that by doing that I might I might get into a bigger problem. If I'm always thinking I am getting into a bigger problem, then what is happening? Huh? Let me be in my comfort zone, just becoming drowned in this quicksand. Is it a solution? No. We have to take support of the system that is giving us support. We take support of that and we just come out of this quicksand and liberate ourselves. So we should dare all the time, not fear all the time. We should dare, we should take support. Yeah, there might be challenges, there might be difficulties. It is not always a catwalk. There will be difficult situations, but still for the benefit of our own self, we should take to devotional service. There is no other way. No other way. We cannot think that, okay, if I just stay here, there is no harm. We are staying here even is a bigger harm because there are so many people who want to exploit us. Some we are able to see, some we are not able to see. Forget about natural disturbances. Even our own mind is not settled. Even if our mind is okay, matured, but about surroundings, that's not stable, favoring. So in that way, we should come to this. Yeah, if we want to practice bhakti, we should slowly become brave and give up that fear, and then only we can actually advance. So which means we bring a change for ourselves. We can bring a change to our children only if we dare. And we are representatives of Nanda and Sunanda are saying we are representatives of the Supreme Person of Godhead, the creator of the whole universe, who carries his hand in his hand, Shanga, Shanga Dhanva. Yeah, if you remember, is also addressed the Lord as like that. His hand is holding that bow. Hmm? We have been specifically deputed to take you to the spiritual world. Is there? Yeah. And here, the Dhruva Maharaj, throughout his life, he tried to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by austerities and penance. Now, the mature result was Dhruva Maharaj became fit to be carried to the spiritual world. If we desire to be taken to the spiritual world and can engage in the service of the Lord, whatever groundwork we have to do it here to completely become purified. And here, to achieve Vishnu Lok is very difficult, but by your austerity you have conquered. Even the great rishis and demigods cannot achieve this position. Simply to see the Supreme, the sun and moon and all other planets, stars, luminary solar systems are circumambulating it. Now, please come. You are welcome to go there. Hmm. So here we see the rare position which can be attained by a devotee. And here Prabhupada is telling about the scientists. Yeah. Even in this material world, the so-called scientists, philosophers, and mental speculators strive to merge into the spiritual sky, but they can never go there. But a devotee, by executing devotional service, not only realizes what a spiritual world actually is, but even he can go there. The Krishna consciousness movement is so potent that by adopting these principles of life and developing love of God, one can very easily go back home, back to Godhead. Hmm. So if you really want to know what is the reason why we have Dhruv Maharaj pastime in Bhagavatam, to motivate us that even a normal common man can achieve if he just gives up bad association, if he focuses in austere and or simple life, yeah, and practice bhakti. Devotees have no interest in seeing other planets, but while going back to Godhead, they see all of them as passing phases, just as one who is going to a distant place passes through many small stations. So all these levels, whatever are there, one goes through that, but uh, ultimately one need not think of let me go that station, this station. If he is going to the final destination, all these stations will automatically pass by. Dear King Dhruva, neither your forefathers, very important, neither your forefathers nor anyone else before you ever achieved such a transcendental planet. The planet known as Vishnu Lok, where Lord Vishnu personally resides, is the highest of all. It is worshipable by the inhabitants of all other planets within the universe. Please come with us and live there eternally. And here it is, yeah, Yeah, it's mentioned. The transcendental planet known as Vishnulok is especially meant for devotees, not for karmis, gyanis, or yogis. Great rishis or demigods can hardly approach Brahmalok. Brahmalok is not permanent residence. Lord Brahma's duration of life is so long that it is difficult to estimate even the duration of one day, and yet Brahma also dies. Hmm. So Bhagavad Gita, A Brahma Bhavanal Lokan Punar Avartino Arjuna. So everything is coming manifesting again. Hmm. Except for those who go to Vishnulok, everyone is subjected to the four principles of material nature: birth, death, old age, and disease. The Lord says, Yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. The planet from which one's going, no one returns, is my supreme abode. Dhruv Maharaj was reminded, you are going in our company to that planet from which no one can return to this material world. By mechanical processes, we are unable to reach the topmost planet of this universe, but the process called Bhakti Yoga, hmm, as executed by Maharaj Dhruv, can give one the facility not only to reach other planets within this universe, but also to reach beyond this universe to Vishnu Lok. Hmm. So, if one wants to know, one can read this easy journey to other planets. Prabhupada, he wrote, what should be our vision? How can we achieve that in this book? I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Are there any interesting points that you felt want to share? You want to add something? Any
Hare
questions?
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Sarika Mataji.
Prabhuji, you talked about the subtle body, and then you say that, okay, uh, how do I don't remember exactly the sentence that is to, uh, then you won't have subtle body. I don't know if it is attachment or something like that. I was just trying to understand that. And also you said it was in the text, a subtle body in dream. So yeah, I think it's not very clear to me at that point.
Okay. So we know that this body, physical body, is made of 5 gross elements:
Yeah.
earth, fire, water, ether. What is left? Earth, fire, water, ether. The 5th one: earth, fire, water,
Yeah.
sky.
Sky.
No, sky is
Air.
ether already.
Air.
Air, correct. Yeah, air. So this is the one through which our body is made, and inside the body there is also subtle body. Yeah. So when we are talking about this body, uh, we are also having a subtle body which cannot be seen by eyes. That's why it's called subtle, sukshma, sukshma kayam, which means the body which is we cannot see but is also there, and which is also material. And that is, what is that? Mind, intelligence, and false ego. So this is the another material covering to our actual jiva, actual soul. When we are just saying this is my hand, and then when we are talking about this is my mind, where is the mind? Are we able to see the mind? We are only able to feel the mind by the actions, isn't it? And
Yes, Prabhuji.
how are we seeing? There is also difference in, though there is a mind, there is a we may say brain, right? But are we saying, hey, I have a brain, or are we saying I have a mind? So the physical level is one thing, but actually one can see that beyond this physical elements of this body, there is also subtle elements. That is mind, intelligence, and false ego. Intelligence, buddhi, and ahankar. Huh? Um So these are the 3 things which is called subtle body. And the example or the reference that is given in that purport is that when we leave this body, when a person is dead, according to science, we see that the body is lying on the floor, but the subtle body is moving. So which means that subtle body is still living. isn't it?
Yes, yes.
That's the reason we say when someone is there, we say he passed away. Which means the body is literally on the floor, but passed away means yes, passing to some other place. That is the subtle body that is actually moving. Huh? And one may say that no, the Atma is going, but the body is there. Yes, along with Atma, the subtle body is also going. Why? The subtle body, because it's not completely purified, and because the subtle body is material covering still to the soul, this also need to be purified. The example here referred was when a person is in dream, when we are sleeping. Uh, what is happening? The physical body is present there, but what is happening is he is going to a dream state, subconscious state, where he is kind of pulling those impressions that he went through, or he is creating his own dream world and enjoying all whatever he thinks, which is only kind of still. Yeah, he's not freed from that, right? So he is coming dream, and is he able to stay in that dream forever? No. Again, he has to come back
No.
because he is bound to this body. Similarly, so when we talk about mukti, when we talk about mukti linga, yeah, we are talking about that stage where one is even freed up from all this material identification, ahankar. Yeah, when the jeev is even detaching from that covering, which is subtle covering, that this mind, yeah, which is materialistic way, operating in a materialistic way, and then there is ahankar, buddhi, yeah, which is also materialistic. When this is completely purified, then his real identity of a jiva, which is the complete free from ahankar, that is what is actually going to the spiritual world. So
Yes.
before going to the spiritual world, these two levels of detachment or freedom or liberation is required. That is what is referred there. Mhm.
Okay. And Prabhuji, you said the dreams are maybe is something, you might be thinking and then it comes in your dream, right?
Mhm. So
But
dream, what is a dream? Dream is a state where when the subconsciousness is activated, and then it's what is it doing? It is uh, because our mind, what is the mind? Mind is not our enemy, or mind is not our friend. It is the intelligence through which, when you apply
yeah,
the mind, we are thinking our enemy or friend. But actually, what is happening? Mind is just storing all the impressions, the collection. It's just like our phone. If you're taking photos everywhere, there is storage, isn't it? And in the storage are all the
yes,
photos. The mind is like a storage where it is taking impressions of everything, whatever we are perceiving with our senses, with our hand, with our legs, with our skin, with our taste, all these sensories, right? Whatever is sensed, these
yeah,
are built up into a data in our mind. And intelligence is the one that is actually saying, huh, is it liking for my taste or not? All that is the next level, intelligence.
mhm,
And false ego, because as long as we are connected to this material world, thinking that I am this material world, sorry, I am this material body, huh? I have a
yeah,
attachment to it. So this false ego, which is ahankar, is also not purified. It is adulterated with this thought that I am the master. Huh? That is the
yeah,
reason why, that is the difference between our actual akar. Our actual akar, what is that? Servant of the Lord. But aham akar has completely changed, thinking that I am this body. So when these three things are purified, hmm,
yeah,
then the person is able to detach from these things, because he is no more thinking that I am this body, no
right,
ahankar, and his buddhi, whatever is material buddhi is gone, and his mind is also now able to perceive. It is just like when we want to see an object through a microscope or a telescope, we have to turn this lens such a way that all the blurry things are gone. Only a clear vision can be coming, right?
right.
Then only we'll be able to see things as it is. So this purification process of becoming a devotee and practicing devotion will bring us to that clear connection with the Lord. Just like a satellite is sending the signal, broadcasting a radio channel, but if at a receiver, if I don't tune it properly, can I really receive it? No.
No.
We have to turn it so that we can tune it. Similarly, we have to also go through this process of purification so that we can understand that I have been having a misidentification crisis or identity crisis. My real identity is servant of the Lord. And when we have this, in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, what happened? He became Muktalinga, that he got his own abode, he got his position in the spiritual world. So one cannot go to the spiritual world again with all this false identification, material things, material attributes.
Prabhuji, I have when you say the spiritual world, the people who are I don't know, they are great devotee, like maybe they are in this world, like living in this world, but they are in spiritual world.
Yeah.
Is it right? It
Yeah,
could
it's
be
possible.
this thing.
Yeah. It is very well possible. Not only that, even if you see such great personalities, not only devotees, we can see when Lord Ram appeared, he appeared as if like a human, right?
Right.
So great personalities who are the Shaktiyavesh avatar of the Lord, who are the potencies of the Lord, they appear. Not only the associates of the Lord may appear in the world, their Lord's energy also can appear. Hmm? Yeah, like Annamacharya is a Khadga, Lord's sword who appeared. And of course, the dealings appeared like as if like, okay, he's a human, he has a family, he has children and all, right? All these things. But he's still spiritual. This is what you are saying, right? The great personalities, when they come, yeah, they might appear being in the dealings of the middle world, but they are not. Yeah, like when we are talking about Ramanujacharya, when we talk about Yamunacharya, the dealings of them, as I was giving also about Kanchipurna, when he is able to talk to the Lord, how is it possible if he is a human?
Right.
Yeah. So they come with some service. Yeah. They don't have any business with the material world. They come to render service in the material world, just like mm, we see also policemen also in a prison house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you take a police station, there is also policemen who are in this building, but they are not they have not committed crime.
But they're still there.
Yeah, they are still there. What are they doing? They are serving.
True.
Yeah, like that. So Srila Prabhupada, yeah, who appeared, yeah, can anyone think or imagine someone creating a society after the age of 69? That's
Not
why
really.
that's why he's one of the top 10, I mean, in the world, the top 10 most successful men in the world after age of 69. It's not so easy, and then the way that he has created the whole movement, and yeah, that definitely shows that he's not from this world. He just came on a mission, he finished his mission, and yeah, returned. Yeah, did it answer your question?
Yes,
Sorry,
yes,
Kamal.
Prabhuji. Yes. Thank you for the nice explanation.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, very nice session today. And I have one, question and one comment, Prabhuji. One, you spoke about, people directly talking to deities, and it also reminds me of Tirukkachi Nambi. He was like, Ramanujacharya was not convinced with Advaita philosophy, and he had, questions that looks like, the Purana says that he spoke to Tirukkachi Nambi, and Tirukachidambi is capable of directly talking with the Lord of Kanchipuram, and the Lord himself answered the 6 questions which stood as the basis for Vishishtadvaitam, they say, Prabhuji. So, kind of relates to it. Again, it's a very, very nice 6 things. And one question that I have is, Prabhuji, Annamayas or Annamacharyas referred to as Khadka, Ramanujacharyas, Adishesha. But how do people relate, these Avatara Purushas to the associations of God? And do we have any such references to Srila Prabhupada? What incarnation is? That's my question. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that how do we know this? Yeah. So only when great personalities reveal, then we know it. Yeah. So when we're talking about, okay, yeah, he is this Amsha. So someone who is authentic has referred. Who is he? Even if we are in a dream and Lord is coming and telling, are we in a position to accept it? No, only when great personalities, acharyas, they come and establish, no, they are this potency or plenary expansions or plenary portions of, expansions of plenary portions of the Lord. So different. Through that, we can understand, okay, their greatness, they are not ordinary and they are so and so. Just like we have this in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, there are so many who have come from the spiritual world. There is this, what is this book called? I forgot. Gaura Gana Desha Deepika, which is telling who is coming from the spiritual world, what is their real identity. If you're referring to, okay, how to Gaura Gana Desha Deepika. What is it? I mean, I always struggle to get that name. Gaura Gana Desha. Let me see if this is coming. Yeah, so Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, correct. So this gives a list of all what is the real spiritual identity that is mentioned. Yeah.
Okay.
And then now coming to Prabhupada, yeah, how do we say that he is a Shakti-Avesh avatar? Yeah, there are references that how his disciples have come up, and of course their real identity is not revealed so easily, because it all depends how people accept it. When someone is saying that Ramanujacharya is Adishesha, we are able to understand, we are able to, but yeah, sometimes that if when this is not revealed so publicly, it is better. Otherwise people may think it's cheap, right?
Yes.
To know the identity of someone, what is in the end, what are we going to get? If someone, Prabhupada, someone asked, hey, you are God, Prabhupada simply said, no, I am not God. So devotees, yeah, they are very, very careful that they don't want to reveal their identity. And this is also, if you see in Ashtanga Yoga, right? Of course, here in Bhakti Yoga, we are vividly giving everything without any secrets here, right? But if you see in Ashtanga Yoga, if someone is a practitioner of Ashtanga Yoga, whatever advancement he has achieved, he will not reveal. He keeps it secret. Yeah, I mean, I have this book. I forgot where is that. In that, it's when I was reading, I came across this, and that is the reason also. If someone is advancing, he will not reveal, because that will hamper his advancement. That even what do you call this? Stops the mercy from his guru to advance in his own process. And now, yeah, we know about, okay, who is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. There is a reference through which we see, okay, if some great personalities say, then we can come to know the identity of a person.
Okay, Prabhuji. So it's like they themselves revealing, or people who are immediate disciples, they reveal. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then they come. Yeah, so Kavikarna has, I think, Gauraka Anadesha Deepika is written by. Wait a second. Well, now I'm here. Kavikarna Purna, I think. Yeah, Kavikarna Purna. So he wrote this. I mean, he gave this knowledge. So if one wants to know who is who, then one can go to this.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. There's a whole map of in the Treta Yuga who were there, in Dwapara Yuga who are there, in Kali Yuga who are who from the spiritual world. These identities are mentioned.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you for this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? If no, then thank you very much for joining. Have a nice sunny weekend, and we'll catch up tomorrow. वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। हरे कृष्ण।